Hey guys, it's Levi Gates. Welcome back to Detox. With me, of course, Ivan LaCroix, Optimum Polymer Technologies.
Glad to be here.
Thanks for coming and hanging out. Ivan has a shop that you've ran for many years.
Yep.
You've finally stepped down. You're full-time with Optimum.
Yep.
But you've been in your shop, you've worked, you've had great success with that business. And this one, we're going to talk about best car to work on. An exotic, an Econobox, a minivan, the family car, all that good stuff. I have a black minivan and a family sedan as my personal cars.
Exactly.
I love my minivan. It's amazing. I'm actually going to be ordering some Pro Plus to put on it and have some fun with. But I get a kick out of that thing, and I love cleaning it. And I get, when another one pulls in, I want to look at it and see what other stuff it's got.
Right.
So I enjoy working on a high-end car. This old Corona wagon here is a lot of fun to play with and work on. It's a buddy of mine's. But these are more fun for me than, say, a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or any of those things.
Yeah.
They don't scare me. I feel like paint is paint.
Paint is paint, plastic is plastic, glass is glass.
Right. And in some of our videos, we've had some fun cars. We've had the ACR,
Right.
a couple of those M3s.
The Rag Cobra.
The Rag Cobra. All those are fun, and I always like the brake. But for you, what is, or your employees, what is that for them?
You know, I want to, well, my son actually, give him a minivan that's been lived in and abused, and the interior, you just want to run and hide. He loves that. That to him is nirvana. You know, give him the choice between that or driving the customer's Ferrari home. He'll take the minivan. So, you know, that's one thing. But exotics or Econoboxes, what's your market? That's really what it comes down to. You know, in the town where I'm at, there's 2 Ferraris and 1 Lamborghini. If I based my business model on doing exotics, I'd work 3 days a year. And I'd be, you know, on the unemployment line the rest of the year. So, but minivans, there's tons of them out there.
And they all need cleaned.
Yeah, Ford Focuses, hey, bring them on. Come on. And the owner of the Econobox or the owner of the everyday car takes as much pride and sometimes more than the owner of the exotic. And they're actually willing to invest money into keeping that car, because the person that can afford a Ferrari, to him, it's just, sometimes it's not that big an investment. Whereas people like us, the car that we paid $30,000 for, that's a big investment for us. So those are things that we really need to consider. And when you're dealing with these vehicles, like we said, paint is paint. You know, we had a Bentley in our shop recently. The paint coat on the Bentley, we had a Volkswagen Golf beside it. They both had the same paint coat.
So it's the same paint?
Yeah. You know, not necessarily the same paint, but I mean, they both have the same Volkswagen paint code because Bentley is owned by Volkswagen.
Right.
So
it's probably more clear on the Bentley.
Actually, we measured it. The Bentley actually had less clear than the Volkswagen. So it's one of those things.
Always learn something.
Yeah. You know, the Bentley may have been polished a few times more than the Volks, but it's things like that. You know, find out your market. And I have as much fun polishing a Fiesta than I do a Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know, the results are there.
Yeah.
Whether you're polishing one or the other, you know, and the customer at the end is happy.
Yeah. And it again, it doesn't matter. Same thing. I've had customers we had a guy that brought us a 2016 Escalade. He's a long-time customer of ours. He's been seeing, you know, me and Matt for about 10 years and followed us shop to shop and only wants us touching his cars. And he bought a new Escalade, brought it into us, and we went through it. And now he brings that thing in every 6 weeks for a maintenance wash or a little maintenance detail on it, and we have fun doing it. But he gets every time he picks it up, he's shocked.
It's that new car feel.
It's got Pro Plus on it. It's got a full interior coating set up on it. I mean, the car.
So it's easy to clean.
It's super easy for us to do, and we almost feel like we're not getting any, like nothing. We feel like we're not doing anything sometimes to it, but. We are cleaning it, and it gets dirty, and he drives it, and it's got bugs, and it's got everything on it. But he's shocked and blown away and excited and happy and loves
Yeah.
seeing it every time we pick it up, and
Yeah.
that's. Yeah, it's a good feeling. It's nice to have those,
Right.
and we always look forward whenever he calls and says, "I want to bring it in for a wash."
Yeah.
You know, we're excited because one, it's easy for us to do,
Right.
but two, his response is
Exactly.
he's always excited, even though that thing is immaculate, and
Yeah.
he keeps it immaculate.
Exactly. Customer satisfaction has a lot to do with it, and seeing that customer reaction is always fun. And it doesn't matter the price of the car. We see people posting online, and some people try just to post the exotics.
Yeah.
Well, they might only do 10 exotics a year,
Yeah. Yeah.
but the rest of the time they're doing regular cars like the rest of us, but they almost hide those things.
Yeah.
Joe Fernandez from Superior Shine, at one point, he was only doing exotics, and he purposely tried to post cars that weren't exotics because people thought all he did was exotics.
Yeah, yeah.
And Joe is a very unpretentious, humble guy, and to him, paint is paint is paint. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if it's on a Ferrari or Ford.
Yeah. He can polish it.
Yeah, exactly. And as long as the customer is willing to pay his rate,
Yep.
he's happy.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we've seen to have a lot of fun with some of the older cars we get.
Yeah.
Right about a block away is a mechanic shop that specializes in old cars. They've been around for years, and if you can't get your car running right and it's an old car, you go take it over there and they make sure it's right. But with that, we've known him for a long time, the owner, and
Yeah.
so he always tries to sell either a wash and wax or a interior detail or something to his customers. And lately he started selling what we call our restoration detail.
Yeah.
Those start 500 plus, and
Yeah.
we go through the old car, and we've got them on our Instagram and our Facebook page. But those have been a lot of fun because we've had some really unique old cars come
Yeah.
through that have been barn finds or things of that nature
Oh,
that I never
yeah.
thought I'd be working on.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun when you get paint that's 40, 50 years old,
Yeah.
and no one's touched it, and you're the first person to touch it in 20 years.
Right.
That's been a lot of fun to just play around with it, feel it, see the shape of it, all that stuff. And so
Yeah.
I get a kick out of it. I almost get more joy out of some of the older stuff than I do some of the newer
Yeah.
stuff.
We all have our little sweet spot. I like doing the older cars as well, just because it's fun. I'm an older guy, and I remember these cars.
Yeah.
So it's fun to see that. It's odd when you go to a car show and you see cars that are in a certain class, and it's like, I could have bought that car new. That's when you know
Yeah.
you're getting old. So
We had the car show this past weekend, and we brought this,
Yeah.
and we brought a brand new 16 Lexus GSF.
Yeah.
And then we brought a couple other little cars with us, a
Yeah.
Z and an RSX, and this drew a ton of people. They
Yeah.
took tons of pictures of it. People were coming up going, "We sold one of these. My family sold it or traded it in for $300 at the
Yeah.
dealership 20 years ago.
Exactly.
Or this was my first car in high school. Thought I'd never see one again.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I can't believe. Look how great that is."
Yeah.
Or they'd see the GSF and they'd stop and go, "Oh, you need to buy that for me and
yeah.
get this and look at that." And so it was fun to have an expensive high-dollar car
Yeah.
and a cool old car that nobody really sees anymore.
Yeah, and
so,
I mean, this is far from being perfect. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but
yeah, we haven't buffed it yet.
It's two-tone.
Yep, yep.
Not intentionally, but the colors don't match perfectly. There's a few dents here and there, some
Yeah,
scratches.
it's got a little bit of rust.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's fun for us to detail cars like that. So
It
yes,
doesn't matter.
it's fun to detail a Ferrari. I always joke, Ferrari's too low. I don't like bending over. So and I have one employee that loves doing pickup trucks. Bring him a pickup truck, he loves it. Bring him a Lamborghini, and he sees a pickup truck behind the Lamborghini. It's like, I'll go do the truck. But I have other guys that they want to do the exotics. So
Yeah.
we all have our sweet spots. We all have what we like to do, but we're all running businesses too. So it's what's your market?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
if you're
sometimes the minivans pay a lot better.
Yeah,
You can
if-
stack them through.
Yeah, if you're in Southern California, sure, there's exotics everywhere. And there's antiques and all stuff, stuff like that. Northern climates like us, cars don't last this long normally.
Yeah.
They rust away. And, people maintain them, so that's a good thing. But there's not the exotics here. There's not, as many antiques and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. We figured it out. Just work on whatever you like working on. And
what comes to you.
Yeah, and don't set yourself up to only do exotics. Have some fun. Do some Hondas. Do some Toyotas. Do some you know, just some simple cars. And the whole goal is having fun at what you're doing, enjoy what you're doing, make sure you're making money at what you're doing.
And having satisfied customers.
And having happy, satisfied customers, which makes all the difference. So remember to leave comments at the bottom of the video. We want to know about them. Yeah, they're right down here. And make sure you email me, levi@theragcompany.com. And Ivan, always a pleasure. I love having you here.
Anytime.
And so much fun. Make sure you stay tuned for more videos right here on the Rag Company YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.